We're all doing that, yeah?
What's going on, people? It's Mr. back again with the review show. And what can I say? We absolutely, technically, battered Arsenal. We battered Arsenal. And people in the chats, there's 63 people in. That's mad. I'm so happy, so excited for this win. But before we do start, I've got Lee Goodburn. How you doing, Lee?
Happy days. I'm very happy. How are you, Marcus? You all right, Dad?
Wait! Not yet. No, he's last.
Sorry,
Marcus. Next one, we got Dylan. How you doing, Dylan?
Happy, mate. Happy. Didn't see this one coming, but
I didn't either.
You take it.
But last but not least, we've got Marcus Nevis, Arsenal fan. He took it like a man. He took it. He was next to me, and like I said, people, don't go at him because Marcus is going to be realistic. Okay, so be nice. But Marcus, how you feeling?
Yeah, I've been better.
But like I said, this is Marcus. Like I said, he's an Arsenal fan. I've known Marcus for years, but we always do battles back and forth all the time. But I'm feeling so great. I feel fantastic. People in the comments, how are you feeling? What a result! 1-0 against a strong Arsenal side, in my opinion. But I'm going to start with you. Let me start with you, Marcus. But before the game, we saw the lineup, and Marcus said it's a good team. Marcus, talk to me, bro. Tell everyone how are you feeling, bro?
Look, I'm an Arsenal fan at the end of the day. Nottingham born and raised, but I'm an Arsenal fan. A strong team. There's no excuse at all for us not going there and getting the win today. Of course, I can dissect the performance minute by minute, second by second, kick by kick, and destroy Arteta and Arsenal. But I think Forest need to come out of this with a lot of credit. Backed against the wall at times. Not many of you would have thought you would be coming out into the fourth round draw. And you did. You outplayed us for large periods of the game. In terms of effort level, saw a lot more from Nottingham Forest, and tactically, Cooper got it right, and Arteta got some things very wrong. So as much as I can hammer Arsenal, and I will do at various stages during the stream, I've got to give Forest a lot of credit for the performance that you put in today. It doesn't feel good, but the best team won.
Fair play. Like I said, I'm not going to lie, but the vlog's out tomorrow, 9 o'clock. But throughout the game, I was absolutely, second half as well, me and Marcus was talking, and Arsenal wasn't great. It wasn't great, like, because as far as like they had more passion than Arsenal, but we'll talk about that later. Dylan, how you feeling, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling happy. It's just the whole. Do you know what I was saying during the game to some of the lads when I was texting? I was like, if we come out of this and lose, I won't really bother because of the performance. The first half wasn't. It was good, in my opinion, but not the best we've seen. But the second half was a different class. But like I said, if we'd have come away with a 1-0 loss, I'd have still walked away and gone, do you know what? Good team performance. That's what we wanted. It's what we said last night. Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we can only beat what's in front of us. And to be fair, the second half, mate, we just absolutely hammered them. I don't think they even had a proper shot on target, did they?
Didn't have one. But Lee, wow. It's just I'm still shocked.
I'm still coming down from it, to be honest. Like, to a man, we were outstanding. We were solid at the back. The team played for everyone. They all played for each other. Like, don't get me wrong, there was some outstanding, like Spence, for example. I thought Davis had a good game. But as a team, Ryan Yates, got all my hands up.
Right. Let's stop there. Because let's stop at Ryan Yates. Like,
pass, and I was like, oh, like I didn't bag him. I just said, oh, that because Dore was sat right to the right of me, and I just said, oh, come on, man, like that was a simple pass. But then that ball he played in, well done. You got to applaud him. Fantastic ball. Ripped Arsenal's defence to pieces. Sorry, Marcus. And enter the grabbing. bang, straight in the net. What can you say? Each to a man. They were outstanding as a team. Steve Cook looked like he'd been here for ages. His experience, we were just so solid. You know what I mean? We never looked in trouble. They had that one clear-cut chance, I'd say, with the head that weren't even on target. I don't know how he didn't get that on target, to be fair.
It's like he headed it with a square head and caught the corner.
He had by any chance.
Bloody hell, it was like simple tapping, but he just hit the corner of the square and went.
Well, we were playing in white, weren't we? We're playing in white, so we turned to Tottenham.
I'm about to say exactly the same. Like
Piers Morgan said, you look like Tottenham. You were worse.
Marcus, and this is the thing, Marcus, and I'm going to talk to Marcus. Like before the game, we saw the lineup, and we had Worrell, Cook, and McKenna. But that front three Arsenal, the front three that Arsenal played, Marcus, that was a good front three. But we just had a good defense, didn't we? Like no shots on target, Marcus. That's embarrassing, to be an Arsenal fan.
It is. But Forest just looked hungrier and busier. And you notice Saka, every time he received the ball, he'd have 2 players on him straight away. It's as if you wanted that ball 4 times more than we did. So it's not the lineup, it's simply effort level. And Forest's effort level was far higher than us. If we went into our next Premier League game against Spurs next weekend with a front 4 of Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli and Nketiah, not that many Arsenal fans would complain. Maybe Nketiah out for Lacazette. It's a good front 4. So no shots on target. Unacceptable.
Colback, not a left back, had Saka in his.
That's the problem, and this is why I was confused because Saka, like me and Marcus will disagree with this, because like we always banter about Saka, but we'll talk about later. We'll talk about later, Marcus. I've mentioned Ryan Yates again, and again, let me talk to Lee, and we'll talk about Spence.
Oh, wow.
He's stayed at Forest.
What
Lee, talk about Spence, man. I've lost words to Spence, man. Come on.
He led the line. He was not scared of them. He was having it every day of the week. They couldn't cope with him. Not the Arsenal midfield, not the defence, not the forward line. None of them. They had to keep bringing him down. Eventually, we got a free kick because that ref was a bit frustrating. But the guy, he doesn't play like he's 21. His passion, that's what we want in the side. He was outstanding today. Like, I don't know what Borough don't see in him. I can't get my head around it. He's just not a fit for them. For us, he's perfect. He was outstanding.
Dylan, and I'm going to talk about, like, when it comes to, and like I said, me and Marcus spoke about the lineup. Like, we played a strong side, and I'm surprised as well. Yeah. And I'm going to talk about Davis because me and Lee was talking about Davis is so completely different to Graben. And to be fair, he played 60 minutes. And I think, I spoke to Marcus as well. He dealt with White really good, didn't he? If I'm honest.
He won most things, didn't he?
Yeah. I know. Yeah, I noticed that. I was saying that. Every time the ball went up to him, he always won it. He won his aerial challenges straight away. Do you know what I mean? I think he looks a bit rusty with the game times, but I believe more game time, he'll get better. But to me, I just think he's the kind of player where to hold the ball up for you and then bring everyone into play. So I think the attacking, like Zinchenko, your Johnsons and that, are going to need to, if they're going to play one up front with him up front, they're going to have to learn to play off him because I don't think he's got that pace by the look of it, because every time the ball went past him, he didn't make a sprint for it like a Graben does or a Taylor does. Do you know what I mean? He just seems to have, but he just seems to be, I don't know, it's just like his hunger. Did you see him in, was it the first 20 minutes with that Arsenal player? That Arsenal player tried to give him a bit of crap and he just like barged into him and then went after it. I was like, yeah, this is passion. But I think Davis looks good for what I've seen of him in the first 60 minutes, and hopefully more game time, more fit him into the squad. Do you know what I mean? Are they going to play him with Graben? But I think this game was perfect for him. And like you say, he do you know what I mean? They couldn't handle him at times.
I spoke to Marcus about, I said, right, when the players like White and Holding, Marcus, they couldn't deal with Davis, could they? Because you mentioned in the Premiership, they can't deal with players with that kind of ability, can they?
we're not set up to deal with fast, busy, physical forwards. You saw it against Brentford, first game of the season. Ivan Toney, and forgot the other guy that plays for them, ran as ragged. And this Davis guy, I think he's quite nippy though. He looked fairly decent.
I think it's his movement more than pace. His movement was good.
But he's not very direct. So he can rough up a centre-back, he'll win the ball, hold it up well. It's that little bit of when he gets near the box, he's sharp enough to take a little shift on the bank. But I think that will come. He causes all kind of problems today. And again, no excuses. But when you've got Rob Holding, you play on him. And he did. He took him to the cleaners numerous times.
I think he needs confidence. And then he'll start shooting. I think he will score goals in the Championship. He will. He just needs that confidence to pull the trigger. Because there's a couple of times, sorry to butt in, like there's a couple of times where he was near enough through on goal and you thought to yourself, just hit it. And he didn't, he turned back. But that is rustiness and that lack of confidence. But I think it'll come. If he keeps playing like that, I'm happy we signed him. Very happy.
Marcus, before I get to Lee and but Marcus, like that Arsenal team, like I said, I personally thought, like I said, we spoke about before the game, that team was good enough to beat Arsenal. Like we mentioned, who's that young midfielder?
Charlie Patino.
Everyone's raving about him, but I didn't even see him. And Ryan Yates, again, I know Patino is not, he's only 18 and he's got high hopes of him, but didn't see him, did we, Marcus?
It was the wrong game for him. I said before the match, he's the one player I didn't really want to see today. You bring him on if you're 2 goals, maybe 3 goals up. You don't give a young player the first senior start in that environment. But if you go through the Arsenal team, Bernd Leno, German international, Cedric Suarez, played for Portugal when they won the Euros, and he's Premier League fullback with a good standard. Rob Holding, not a fan, he's a Premier League defender. Ben White, 50 million, good player. Tavares, could go through them all. It's a good team. It's a team that should be beating any championship team in most of the bottom half of the Premier League. So in terms of a starting lineup, you won't have heard many Arsenal fans before the game criticising it. It was more than strong enough. Just didn't have that edge. It weren't good enough.
Lee, talking about like special, like we mentioned Spence and Jack Colback as well, playing left back against a Saka. Like I had the places there, I think he's world class, but he'll get there. But Colback again, like another fantastic performance as well from him.
You've got to hold your hands up. He's not even a natural left back, is he? He's filling in till Larea can play or Lowe, and he did a fantastic job today. You can't knock any of them today. They all helped each other out, and he, like I said, he had Saka in his pocket, didn't he? And I like Saka. I really do like him. I like him.
I just don't think he's world class yet.
He will be. He will be.
What do you want from him, though? What's world class? Because you'll call Phil Foden world class. He's had less time in Premier League. I want to say less assists than Saka this season, possibly less goals as well. For England, I think Saka's had more starts. So if you're going to say Foden's world class, Phil Foden, brilliant player, by the way, and doesn't look out of place in a Manchester City team. If you're going to call Phil Foden world class, Ben, I would say if you were to take Phil Foden out of that Manchester City team, put him into Arsenal, would he look the same? Or would he look better than Saka?
Because I think they're both different type of players.
I think Saka was outstanding in the Euros. He was fantastic.
No, he was. He was outstanding. I just don't think
there's no reason why he can't push on. Like
let me put it this way: if you pull Saka out of our team and you put him into Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, would he look out of place? No. Could he start possibly? But not Liverpool. But could he start possibly? People would call him world class. I don't understand. If he had scored 3 goals today against Forest, would that make him world class?
No, I wouldn't say so, because
he'll put him up against into the higher bracket that everyone thinks he is.
But he just scored against Manchester City, so
yeah, I don't know.
He's still a good player.
His delivery off the corners was superb, and I thought to myself, why can't we whip him in like that? Like he was taking them right in front of me, and his delivery was fantastic. We just dealt with it though.
Yeah, I think it's got to give Forest a lot of credit. I'll tell you this for free. Gabriel Martinelli, not one fullback this year has had them under lock like Jed Spence has. He's been our best player, and he didn't look threatening at all. Saka as well didn't really create much. It's not a slight on Saka, Martinelli. I just think your fullbacks today were immense.
Yeah, and this comes from Jack Colback as well. Immense. Like he's not. There's a problem. Like I said, like against when this lineup came out, I thought someone like Jack Colback can be in that midfield to bully your midfield. But like I said, Ryan Yates, Garner, fantastic performances from them as well. And again, I'm proud of the players as well because, like I said, this Arsenal team, like before this, like I know they lost to Man City, but they still played well and that. But this team, Arsenal, they should be beating Forest. They should be beating Forest.
But why should they be?
Putting 5 past us, that team, easy. But we
but
wanted it.
But at the end of the day, it's like you say, they should be beating Forest. But why should they?
International football.
There's no right.
But at the end of the day, it shows you. Do you know what I mean? I think probably Arsenal turned up and gone, oh, look at them. They were 6 months ago, they were bottom of the league. We can have an easy game here. I found in the first half as well, I don't know if you found this, but you could see Arsenal's class at times of passing the ball, the way they moved the ball in the first half. And I was like, you can see the class. But then it just seemed to die off there. But it's like I said to Ben earlier, like Sky Sports and that, they've done nothing but say Arsenal were below par, yeah? And I'm sat there and I'm thinking, all right, yeah, they were because of the players they've got. But Forest did the job.
We didn't allow them to play.
No.
We didn't let them put their impetus on the game, let them play their... Yeah, they passed the ball around, they had some possession, but it was going forward, side to side, back, because we pressured them every time they came forward. And it's not that they were necessarily bad. I think we played well. Like Mark said, they should be giving us a bit more credit, really.
100%. There's 159 people in. Thank you very much for coming on. But like I said, another player that I want to talk about, and I talked to you, Lee, about Steve Cook making his debut. Not had much practice, but again, we spoke about him, McKenna, and Waddle together. And again, the Arsenal's front three didn't have a sniff, did they? Like you dealt with him so good.
For me, and you could say, "Oh, you're talking crap." Someone will probably tell me I'm talking crap, but for me, that is the best defensive setup in the league, bar none. His experience, it showed today. Look at the balls he was playing out. It looked like Dylan said, and like we said earlier, it looked like he'd been here for several seasons. He's just immense, and he'll keep McKenna and Worrell where they need to be. And he was fantastic today, I thought. Saying he's not playing football.
Did you notice, because obviously you guys were there and I watched it on telly, I noticed that Cook was the one who stayed back and he let Worrell and McKenna go
in the middle.
forward.
Yeah, he's the one in the middle, like the linchpin, isn't it? Which is
and I noticed that Worrell made a few runs and he was moving forward a lot more. So that's probably how they're going to go. But I agree with you. That's got to be the best defence.
I just want to get through the comments. And as people know, Curtis came on the channel, and it's Curtis Shaw who's commenting. Better team, one played. We were short of ideas, and you bullied us. Spence and Johnson impressed. Let me get this to you, Marcus. Like, you went to the Huddersfield game. Was it Huddersfield last week? And Marcus, what was the difference from the Huddersfield game and today's game? Was there a big difference?
Honestly, I don't think there was a great deal of difference. I said to you after the game, I thought Forest looked pretty impressive. Samba surprised me. He's actually very good for his feet, which I never realised until I watched him live. And he can build from the back. And what he does, I feel quite well, is he takes his time on the ball. So he'll have a look for the pass, take a touch, and then ping it over. And a number of times, he broke the lines by taking a touch and beating the press, essentially. At Huddersfield, you could have won 3 or 4-1. Just one of those days where the ball wouldn't hit the back of the net. Today, a bit of a tighter game. But I think both performances are pretty strong. There were errors in the Huddersfield game, but I looked at Forest that day and thought, look decent. Much better than the last time I previously saw them. Today, he wanted it a little bit more. Like Dylan said, I think we were coasting a little bit. Championship team, we can play in second gear. Clearly, we couldn't do it. We're not as good as we thought we were. But I think 2 pretty good Forest performances. Obviously, one, you've been on the receiving end of a 1-0, and today you've got a 1-0 victory, deservedly so. Decent team. Better than I thought you were.
Yeah. There's 175 people. If you want to ask any questions to Lee, Dylan and Marcus, you can. If you want to do any super chats, you can support my channel, you can as well, and hit the like button as well.
Ben, sorry. Before you go into super chat, this Grant Chaps guy, attempt to kiss his post of Idris Elba. He's called me Idris Elba about 17 times so far. Attempt to go on Amazon and buy himself an Idris Elba poster. Sorry, mate. Got the wrong guy.
He's got you in the visual wank bank.
Did anybody see him? Did anyone see him today?
No, I didn't see him.
He was there, obviously.
Who's
He was on teller. Idris Elba.
Was it?
I didn't see him. I didn't see him.
Yeah.
Was he?
He did a bit with ITV, and then they went to him. He sat in the stand because he had one of them white Arsenal shirts on.
Yeah. I've got a super chat, and it's from my guy KVS Trez, £4.99. Thank you very much. That will get Marcus a nice Arsenal top. Wait, Marcus.
Not the white one.
I like that white top.
Nice.
What? We can't see the numbers.
Yeah,
What? We don't see the numbers.
Okay. We've got a question. I said, if you need to keep Spence more on Johnson, in our opinion, we need to get promoted. It's time to get 2 more faces to push further and scare teams. This is for you, Lee. Do we need 2 more players to push on?
I think we still need a goal scorer. I genuinely do think that, and if we can get Wallace as well, because it's always the final third where we struggle to create. Like Marcus said against Huddersfield, we had 23 shots. It just wouldn't go in. But having that little bit of spark to change the game up, I think that's where we do lack sometimes. It's always that final ball. So to have another couple of options, I think would be good. Cooper's on about apparently getting a couple more players. I haven't heard this interview. I just heard someone saying it.
Yeah, he said it on radio. It was me. He said it on radio. He says we've got the players in, and we're looking at a couple more to bring in. So,
the substitutions made a big difference, and as we know, Graben scored. But I said to Marcus, when Graben comes on, he makes a big difference. He comes on and makes a big difference. And again, he comes on and scores. And again, the man himself, Ryan Yates. And me and Marcus, we always have banter about Ryan Yates every day, all the time. He comes on, done an assist, Graben scores. Dylan, tell me about the super subs that Cooper does, man.
Well, with Graben, he's proved it over this season. Every time he's class when he plays anyway, but when he comes on as a sub, it's like he's getting old now, isn't he? So the 20 minutes he's got, he just thinks I've got to put everything into it. So me personally, I'd use him I know he's the club captain and that, but I'd use him as a super sub at this moment in time with Davis. Why you've got Davis there? Do you know what I mean? Use him as a super sub. Ryan Yates, he's just. Roy Keane said it earlier on Teller. He says he may not be he may not be technical best. He says, but his work rate that he puts in is absolutely amazing. Yeah. And he went over, I think, while they're on the break, because the guy said on you've been over to Ryan Yates to think, and he says he's the one player that I have so much respect for. He says because I've worked with him. He says he does the hard work. He does everything that a player in his position should do. So, do you know what I mean? So with Graben's just class. I'd give him another 1-year deal. You've got to.
Would you? People in the comments, do you agree with Dylan? Do you think Lewis Graben should get another contract?
We'll give him 1-year deal. If you give him a 1 year, I don't know if anyone's seen him. Obviously you three didn't, but anyone seen the interview with Graben after the game? I was a bit peed off with the guy on the commentary. He was trying to get Graben, antagonize him, because he was like, "Oh, you're the club captain, you're the main goal scorer, but you've been left on the bench. How do you feel?" And he was like, "I'm 37 years old, mate. I'm getting old." He says, "I need a rest." And he's like, "Oh yeah, but Davis has got in front of you." Stuff like that, and he's like, and you can see Graben trying to shut him down. He was like, "What, mate? I've just come on and scored and won the game." He says, "It's a team effort."
What's that? ITV? Is that from ITV?
Yeah, ITV. And it was like, to me, it was like he was trying to antagonize him. He was like, And then he said to Cooper as well, he says, "Oh yeah, your club captain. Why did you put him on the bench?" And he went, "Why wouldn't I?" He says it's a team game. He says it's not just about one player.
Perfect.
He said I had to play Davis. He says let Davis play. Do you know what I mean? So
for me, I'd do that, and I'd grab next season. I'd give him a 1-year deal, and just have him to come off the bench because he does seem a bit more effective because the whole world's not on his shoulders at that point, is it? Like when he has to shoulder everything, he tends to drift out of the game a little bit, doesn't it?
100%. I'm just going to get through the comments. There's loads of it. One from Glenn. How you doing, Glenn? Glenn's a member. Great debut from Cook. He made the solids at the back. Calm influence. Calm Samuel down on occasions where he's rushing to get passed out. Allowed Warren McKenna to move forward. And that's what we spoke about as well. I don't know, was it Liu Lee or was it you, Dylan? I don't know who it was. Like I said, with Cook there, he lets McKenna and Cox push a little bit forward because that's what we need. We need a leader, and that's what Forest's been lacking for quite a while. This is from Nick. Exactly, microphone now. That's Lee. We just need to be a bit more clinical. Hopefully, someone like Jed Wallace or another will do the trick. Go through another comment again. Sorry, go through another comments. Great second half performance. Do you guys think we need another critical to make something happen that when we're struggling to break teams down? Dylan, you take that. Do you think we need another player? Another critical player? Like we're talking about Jed Wallace, but do you think he's the man? Do you think he's the man to be a last signing?
What I've heard of him. Do you know what I mean? I can't actually remember him, but yeah, what I've heard of him in that, and like you lot have said, he's good in that. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Anybody who's creative, anybody who wants to get the ball and move forward. Do you know what I mean? I'm not bothered who it is. At the end of the day, as long as they're playing Cooper's way, that's all that matters. Do you know what I mean? You look at this team that we've got now. Take the 3 signings that was just made, take them out of the equation. But the team that Cooper inherited, how he got them playing, you wouldn't have said that 4 or 5 months ago. No way. You would have said that you could get that group of players to play the way they have. So, me personally, probably yes, get another creative midfielder, but I'd like another striker. I said this last night. I want another striker, another young. I'd like because we know Grabban's going to either leave or he's going to get a 1-year deal. Do you know what I mean? Davis is going to go back to Villa at the end of the season. We've got Taylor. You're going to need a young goal scorer, but that's got experience in the Championship. Yes, he's going to cost money, but when do you get him? Do you wait to the summer or do you get him now?
There's another comment as well from Glenn. Going to the day half time by Roy Keane. Arsenal look like Real Madrid, but we're playing like a pub team. Oh, days. Marcus, let's talk about Arsenal. And you've got a massive game coming up against Liverpool and Spurs. And Marcus, he's not an Arteta fan. But Marcus, if Arsenal lose these next 2 games, do you want him out?
There's no point sacking him now. Make no bones about it. Not a massive Arteta fan. Shouldn't have got the job. He hasn't pulled up any trees. Yes, he won an FA Cup. There were no fans there, but one hot day doesn't make summer. I'd rather judge him over the course of the 2 years. And I think today is kind of symbolic of the time we've had at the club since Arteta's been there. We're always 1 or 2 games away from a crisis. So now we've just lost against Forest. Depending on what happened against Liverpool and Spurs, that could be a big dip in our season. And then we're looking at battling for top 6 to the top 4, being out of potentially the Carabao Cup. But at the start of the week, as I said to you, Ben, out of the 3 games, we was never going to win all 3 of them. If we could choose one to lose, it would have been today. But now we've got to go on and at least get a result, maybe a draw against Liverpool and beat Spurs. And then today, it hurts. We put it to one side. But if we lose today and then follow that up with 1 or 2 bad performances and results, we're in a bit of a turmoil.
Yeah.
We should have won today. That's why I was happy when I saw the lineup. That should set us up to get the win. Hopefully, that's what I said. Get the win. Hopefully, bring a few youngsters on. Maybe rest some of the more established players for Thursday and then go on a bit of a run. Instead, now, we've taken a smack in the face and we've got to recover quickly. Otherwise, our season's
done.
On the route.
Done. You know what? Before Marcus, let's talk about and the substitutions. Like you put, like I said, on you 1-0 down, and you bring on who's the left back?
Classic.
I didn't get that substitution at all. But Marcus, you must come on, talk to me, Marcus. Man,
What do you want me to say? He got outclassed by Cooper. And it's easy to say in hindsight, Cooper made the right subs at the right times. Did you notice as well in the first half that Arteta took off our left back to Forest? And at the time, it's like, it must be an injury. It wasn't. It was tactical.
You didn't see it, did you?
Yeah,
you didn't see it on telly. Obviously, I got the camera. He got off the pitch. He had a right marder. He threw his.
did it.
Yeah, he had a mardy. They tried to. The coaches tried to like condole him. He was throwing his arms about.
I heard the cheer. I didn't know what it was.
Wow!
Yeah,
I thought he was injured.
Yeah, and they asked Arteta after the game, and he says he was pissed. He was pissed, and he went. They asked him about him, and then he turned around and he went, "What? It was a tactical decision." And then when you looked at the replays, of all the bad mistakes he made, did you see that one where he tried to pass it back to the goalkeeper?
Yeah. When he put it,
But that wasn't the only one he made. I think that was the guy. I think that was the guy who Davis had a bit of a tussle with, and then he tried to go to nose with Davis, and I think he realised Davis was a bit bigger than him. He kind of shit himself.
Wow! I can't believe that.
No, but
Marcus,
I'm just saying.
Marcus, what do you think of that, Marcus? Come on.
I heard the cheer.
I'll tell you this: he won't be there. Arteta doesn't take any nonsense. So if he did throw his toys out the pram, you expect to see him go on loan somewhere.
He'll get fined
next week.
He'll probably come on loan for Forest.
We don't want it.
Send him to Derby. That'll do the trick.
There's 206 people in. Wow, that's amazing.
Wow.
Thank you very much for coming on stream. I know, like I said, there's 3 happy people here and 1 not unhappy person. And I said to Marcus, I'm going to absolutely banter him till Thursday because it's just unbelievable win for us. Like I said, it's just winning the way we won against a good side. You can't lie. Arsenal are a good side, but I'm going to talk about what play impressed you with you so far today, and in the comments as well. What play impressed you? We mentioned 1. So Lee, what player like? I know we're going to talk about Spence, but what other players like stood out for you today?
The 2 for me, I'm going to say it, and you're not going to believe your ears. Ryan Yates. I thought was outstanding today. He made a lot of good tackles, a lot of interceptions. Okay, he paid a loose pass, which I had a little giggle with Ben about. Just a bit of banter. But yeah, he was outstanding today, even before the pass for the goal. You know, that ball was the only ball he could play that would have been effective when we scored that goal because no one else was anywhere else. So it was just perfect the way he played it. And the other one is Steve Cook. What a debut.
What a debut.
His class was there to see. Like we've already mentioned, he was calm. He was class on the ball. He sprayed a lovely ball out wide. I think to Spence it was like quite far up the pitch, like a 40-yard pass. He just looked so reassured, and that's what we need because we do, and I've been prone to this season giving a silly goal away. Even when we've been on top, like we did against Huddersfield, just a silly goal where we switch off. He's got that experience to say, "Come on, lads, let's keep it going." You know what I mean? So I think him and even Davis. I thought Davis played really well. I think his confidence will come and he will get goals. And if he doesn't, someone else will score because of his work. And he holds the ball up. That's what we've lacked for a long time. So yeah.
Dylan, what 2 players that impressed you today?
Other than Spence.
Yeah, other than Spence.
Yeah. Other than Spence, I've got more than 2. I'm being greedy now. I mean, I'm going for Yates, definite, 100%. You've got Garner. You've got my man Colback.
Hey,
you know what I mean? Wow. You can't argue. But I think overall, I knew Cook was a good signing as it was. Do you know what I mean? You knew what he's done. But the one person, other than Spence and everything, the one person I was like, and you lads will probably notice through the texts we've had, was Davis. Because listening to some of the stats on him, who was it? Was it you, Lee, the other day who said to us, don't look at his stats?
Yeah. Yeah.
or something like that.
So
It's
don't
just
judge
really-
him on his stats because he's only got like 3 goals in a stupid amount of games.
Yeah, it was just him. It was just that reassurance of that ball going up into the final third.
What he
And
did
it
is
was
what we've been lacking.
Yeah, and it was just
100%.
like a magnet to him, and it dropped down to him. And yes, he was a bit not as sharp when he got the ball sometimes. But you're thinking to yourself, give this kid 5 games in the Championship. Do you know what I mean? Play the likes of Millwall, Barnsley,
How
Derby.
many
Do you know what I
moves
mean?
started from him today when he held that ball up and turned and then gave it off for
Hmm.
Jono or Spence or someone to run onto or someone in midfield and then to carry on running? And that is what we've not had. Normally, we hit it up and it comes back and it puts us under pressure, and that's
Yeah.
what we've had.
Normally,
Now
you normally find Graben with when Graben's playing, the ball gets up to him, but because he's so small, they smother him.
Yeah.
Taylor's like, I love Taylor, but he's like
I like
Bambi on
Taylor.
ice. He's like Bambi on ice. As soon
Yeah.
as he feels someone touch him, he's like, oh, I'm down.
Or
Do
the
you know what I mean?
ball, or the ball bounces off him about 3 meters.
Yeah. But,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? I think
Bless
firstly,
him. I want him
but
to
them
do well.
players.
Marcus, like as an Arsenal fan, what players impressed with you today?
James asked this earlier. He said, if you could pick one player out of a Forest team and put him into the Arsenal team, who would it be? Well, the obvious answer is Spence. I said before, I think he's a Premier League player. I know he's not officially yours. He's making his name at Forest. And if the board have got any sense, they'll pay the money it takes to get him. Outside of Spence, Worrell. I'm only basing it on a 2-game sample size. Huddersfield game and the Arsenal one today, of course. He's a beast in the air. I think he'd run through a brick wall for Forest or any team he plays for. I like a defender that will do anything to stop a goal going in. And he strikes me as that sort of player. He'll literally run through a wall and you'd feel sorry for the wall. So that's 2 games in a row. I've been impressed by what Worrell stands for.
Wow. So people, like I said, if you didn't know, Forest won 1-0 against Arsenal. And if you've got any questions for Lee, Dylan, and Arsenal fan Marcus, talk about Arsenal's season, go ahead. Let's talk about the draw. Leicester City.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry, Ben. They're not our rivals, are they?
Right, that's what I want to say. Like, I left the ground, and Leicester fan TV messaged me straight away. Are you looking forward to the East Midlands derby? Leicester, we're not your dog. We don't care. We're just a team like
Coventry are their rivals.
Coventry, your rivals. Like,
Yeah, but they're in the East Midlands. They're in the East Midlands.
Yeah, but we don't care. They're not our rivals.
Closer to Coventry than us.
So we've got Leicester City. Lee, what's your reaction? We've got Leicester at home.
Well,
how are you feeling about that,
bring
man?
them on after today. Bring them on. Like, I think it'll be a different game to the one today. But if we can play like we did today, why not? Like I said earlier on today, if we're in the cup, it's a bonus. I'm not bothered. The league is what I'm bothered about. But you know, a good cup run can only help finances, can't it? So bring it on. You know what I mean?
What about you, Dylan? What's that?
No, I'm happy because my missus' best mate, she's a Leicester fan. So I was like, bang, bang, bang. Do you know what I mean? She's a Leicester fan. So I can't wait. But now, I don't think we have to worry about Leicester. No disrespect to them. But they in Vardy out for 8 weeks.
Yeah. We don't.
So that's one threat.
Yeah. Marcus, like I said, you've got to focus on the league now, and especially League Cup.
That sounded like a dig. Sorry.
Sorry, I had to say that. But Marcus, you've got to win your next game now. Like, you've got Liverpool, and you've got Spurs. This can't get worse, can it?
At the end of the day, we're not going to panic. 4th in the league. We're 2 games away from a Wembley final, and we can put a good distance between ourselves and Spurs next weekend. It's what happens next. I think same for Forest as well. Great win for you today, but the Derby game's bigger.
It's what you do.
And you don't want to speak about it, but if Derby were to turn you over next weekend, it almost makes today irrelevant. And vice versa for Arsenal. If we go, let's say, on a 3-4 game winning streak, we can kind of put yesterday in the past. Yeah, not a great result. I don't think it's do or die. We can draw against Liverpool at Anfield. I'll take that. And then as long as we don't lose against Spurs and show much more than we did today, it's been an okay week. Of course, we lose 3 on a row, then that's testing
think-
time.
So what happens then if you lose 3-0 in a row? Are everyone going to call for him to go? Or
Yeah.
Yeah, but
do you think it'll be curtains?
No, he's there for the season. I think the Wolves will be out. And Arsenal home fans are very different to away fans.
Yeah.
For one, it's very quiet until half time and everybody will boo. It can turn toxic very quickly. So I think a lot of Arsenal fans will say, look, FA Cup, we won it 14 times. The big matches against Spurs. If that goes wrong, you'll see Arsenal fans start to turn again and again and again and again. But I think he's there at least until the summer, which makes sense.
Didn't at the start of the season you did go on a losing streak, didn't you? If I remember right there. And then all of a sudden, and then he just picked it because everyone was calling for his head, and then all of a sudden he picked it up, and they were just shooting up the league.
Dylan, mate, he's got 9 lives. Every time he seems to be on the edge, he finds a way to pull something out of the bag. Start of the season was unacceptable. Last year, getting knocked out of Europa League by our former manager, unacceptable. But somehow he seems to find a way to just keep the owners sweet enough and get fans on side. I've been here too many times. I'm starting to believe in the team, and then bang, today lose 1-0 against the Championship team. So
is his contract massive?
I think he's got 18 months left. So this season and one season after that, I believe.
But do they want to pay out on that? Do you know what I mean? If they got rid of him, he must be on a fair whack.
6 million a year. So we're looking at what, 9 million left in his contract.
Wow.
He's going to take at least that again to get somebody new in. I think it makes sense to give him the year. You judge him on that. His first season he came in halfway through. Second year was COVID riddled. This year he's got his own team, got his own players. It's probably been more good than bad.
You've got to finish 4th, haven't you? You have to.
That's what I said. They've got to finish 4th.
You've got to.
At the start of the year, no Arsenal fan was expecting a top 4 push. We would have taken 6th or higher and said that's progress. I think the way that the league's opened up with Manchester United not really performing, Spurs just being Spurs, we've got an opportunity to get 4th. So now it's fair, and we're at the cup. I'm sure you're going to bring up again, Ben. So now we're out of the cup. We can focus more on the league, and top 4's there for the taking. So,
We'd have been saying that. If we got knocked out. At least we can focus on the league.
I don't know.
I think it was Forest. We're not in crisis yet.
No, but for you guys, it's kind of, you can't have another season out of Europe. You need to be in Europe. It's pivotal for a club of your size, isn't it?
Financially, in terms of status, every angle, we need to be in Europe. Well, this is the first year in 24 we haven't been, so it's not acceptable.
Do you know what? Can I just say something about this Europe thing? And you've been an Arsenal fan and up there and been in Europe and that. You've got the likes of Jurgen Klopp, who keep complaining about getting into Europe, but then complaining of the amount of games that they're playing. Do you know what I mean? I keep hearing it all the time. We're playing too many games. We're doing this.
He moans about his squad. He's ridiculous.
No, but, you've got a massive squad to play in Champions League football. To get into the Champions League football, you get millions of pounds.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like Arsenal this year will be feeling the pinch. Do you know what I mean? Of not playing.
Jurgen Klopp's under pressure. As weird as this sounds, as great as he is, pressure bursts pipes. And I think he's seeing this year that the level that Manchester City is setting, if you lose one game in the Premier League, all of a sudden, you're playing catch-up. I think he's just feeling the pressure of that. It's not that there's too many games. It's not that the squad's not big enough. He's just under a lot of pressure to try and...
But you as an Arsenal fan, you will take being in Champions League football and having 2-3 games a week.
100% all day long. You want those big night outs in the Bernabeu, the Nou Camp, the Allianz. That's what you want as a football fan. Those nights that you remember. Now, I'll laugh it off, but Ben, I know, and a lot of young players, I'm going to put Ben and youngsters in the same category here. A lot of Forest fans, not you two, a lot of Forest fans see like your school kids and that, they'll be speaking about today in 10 years' time, 15 years' time. It's those days you remember when you're playing against big clubs. Obviously, Forest are a huge club, but you know what I mean when I say big clubs.
Yeah, I know what you mean. As an
Arsenal fan, I still talk about the day we beat Barcelona at the Emirates. Didn't do anything in the rest of the Champions League that year, but you remember those nights. So as an Arsenal fan, I only back him with Champions Leagues, mixing it with the big boys. Forget tiredness. We take your squad, but that's what you want as a fan.
This is why you pay £50 million for a player and pay him 120, 150 grand a week. Do you know what I mean?
to be there.
I mean, if I was paid 120 grand a week, I'd expect to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on that.
Yeah, I will say this though. Premier League, Champions League, high intensity football. They're top athletes,
100%.
but they train also at the elite level, and your body can only take so much. So I do understand they're going to feel fatigue. Remember, your good players are going to get kicked. Imagine being.
That's why you have a squad.
Yeah,
That's why you have a squad full of superstars to be able to cope with mixing in and out.
Oh, 100%. I'm saying
You should have got rid of Willock. You should have kept Willock. I thought he was a decent player.
He was a good player, but I think with the way Arsenal are,
Yeah, but he could have played today, couldn't he? He would.
Yeah, but they've got players in the league, but they've got players like Marcus might agree. They've got players like Emma Smith-Rowe, Overgaard. Like, this is the worst thing about it. We've not even mentioned Overgaard. I didn't even see him. I can't remember talking about Kevin Marcus. Huh?
He took a corner.
I can't. Like I can't. I thought personally, I thought he's a good player, but
Yes.
I can't remember being on the pitch. That's how
I
bad
would
Arsenal
like to have seen Smith Rowe personally. Like I wanted to see him. I think he's a quality player. Smith Rowe.
where was Ramsdale? What's his name? Ramsdale, the goalkeeper.
on the bench. He was on the bench.
He was a big loss today. Again, I don't want to talk about players that weren't playing because we put out a team that was more than capable of beating Forest. But what he does, he helps us build from the back. He'll take time out of the game when he needs to. Otherwise, he'll just pass it around the back line and look for that. Bit like what Samba did for you. He will start attacking moves, whereas Leno's not that sort of goalkeeper.
I think Leno's quality though.
Shot stopper.
I think he's a good goaler. Like.
But this is what happened 4 years ago when we beat Arsenal last time. Arsene Wenger. He came to Forest and he had all these superstars and didn't play them and just played the kids and then got beat at the City Ground. And then because the stat was Arsenal's only been knocked out in the third round of the cup.
Twice in 25 years.
Twice in 25 years now by Forest.
Forest.
At the City Ground. No, but this is what I'm saying is the fact is like Arsene Wenger come to the City Ground, he didn't play his big stars and he lost. Do you know what I mean? So surely history repeats itself. You play your best players. Do you know what I mean? Regardless.
Oh, they had a lot of quality on today.
No.
Those players were real. Some of them players.
They play that team. When I saw the team, I said to Marcus,
Tierney, sorry.
We defeated today, didn't we? When we seen that,
that was a good squad. The team that, like, you can mention the two centre midfielders, like the 18-year-old and I think the other guy.
Lukonga's a Belgian international.
But the thing, Mark, remember I said to you, I think Ryan Yates, the midfield, it's going to be a midfield battle, and Ryan Yates came on top, and you mentioned Spence
they didn't
as well.
like the physicality, did they? They did
No.
not like that.
And the first half, I meant to say, Marcus, where's the what's his name, the Argentinian, Brazilian winger?
Martinelli.
Martinelli, like first half, Spence had him in his back pocket because we didn't even see him, did we?
I'll say this though, but Martinelli's a battler, so he was trying. He'll press. He plays with a lot of intensity. Just Spence had his number, but Martinelli was up for the battle. Just lost it. That's all. One of them ones.
Yeah, this time I thought he was class when he was on the ball. Like he looked good, definitely.
But it looks like like we said earlier. Sorry, quick one. Like this, we said earlier. I think Arsenal just turned up thinking we're going to win this. Do you know what I mean? But
they underestimated us big time.
But did they kind of have an eye on? Is it Thursday night you play?
Yeah.
Are they thinking more of that than what was happening today?
I think we just didn't expect the opposition.
He would walk into anyone in the Championship and most of the Premiership. The good side. We turned up today. That's it. We played well. We didn't let them play. Simple.
This is what I've got 5 minutes. But Marcus, I'm going to talk about, like, I spoke to Lee and about Steve Cooper. He's changed the club so much, Marcus. Do you think he's the man to send Forest up?
We're talking long term or short term?
Short, both short and long term. We'll talk about short term. Like we've had so many managers we've had, but do you think he's the man? Like I said, he's had history with Swansea, back-to-back playoffs, but never got there. But do you think he's the man to get after you seen the Huddersfield game and the Arsenal game? Do you think he's the man to get Forest up?
There's no doubt he's having an impact on the squad, on the pitch, and off the pitch as well. Particularly if Graben's coming out after the game and kind of alluding to the fact that it's a squad game. There's been rumours in the past that Graben's a bit of a poison in the changing room. So if Cooper's been able to change his mindset and others, he's working his magic on the players. They clearly believe in him. In terms of implementing a system and a style, say I've seen 2 games. It's not much of a sample size. You're playing some good stuff. And then when you need to get physical and get into the dark arts, you can do that as well. So it's clearly had an impact on the team. This season's going to be a struggle, but as you all know, in the Championship, things can change very quickly. So if you go on a 2, 3, 4 game winning run, all of a sudden you're looking at 3rd or 4th as an option, whereas 2 or 3 rocky results and you're sliding the other way. I think it'd be a big ask this season for Cooper to get the team up. Again, I know you know this already. Look where he started when he came in. So he's already worked with magic. Promotion's a very, very big ask. But I would say long term, looking over, say, the next 2.5 years, so 18 months, 2.5 years, he's clearly got a vision. The players believe in him. He's got his contacts around the game as well, after working with England youth teams. I think as long as he's backed properly by the owners, he can get Forest back into the big time.
Do you agree with me, Lee?
Yeah, 100%. It's the first time I've felt really happy about a manager. Don't get me wrong, I back every manager, even if I don't like him. Like, I backed Sabri. I thought Sabri was all right, but negative sometimes. Cooper, I can't moan. Even when we lose at least trying. I know not so much Borough, but in general, like, if we'd have lost today to Arsenal, I'd have gone, well, the way Cooper sets the team up and everything, they've had a performance, you know what I mean? But obviously today we got the win. But I think Cooper's the one to take us up. Yeah, I've got to agree.
People in the comments, do you agree with Marcus and Lee? I think we talk about we've come in, Forest bottom of the league, and he's done a fantastic job. And like I said, beating a good side, a good team that Arsenal played as well. I think Davis needs a pat on back for what he's done. Right, we're gonna get going, but we'll see, like I said, ratings. Out of 10, I know what everyone's opinion. What's your out of 10, Lee? I know we're gonna say, but come on,
9.5.
9.5. Oh days. Dylan,
10.
Marcus, I'll say Arsenal. Let me see about Arsenal. What's your rating on Arsenal?
Do you do minus numbers on this channel?
Need a thumb down button.
Thumb down button.
2 or 3.
Bloody hell.
I don't think they were that good.
I don't think that's it. I thought there was no shots on target as well. This how.
That's how solid we were at the back.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's mad.
Do you know what? For the next days and days, we're gonna have you're all gonna go to work. We're all gonna have this conversation with other people and that and everyone, and where everyone's gonna probably say, Arsenal wasn't this, Arsenal wasn't that.
It wasn't that, yeah.
But hold on a minute. No, I'm sorry. Forest, like Marcus will know, Forest came with a game plan and they implemented the tactics and stuck to it. And they were like, we're not bothered who you are. This is how we're playing our game. You come to us. And it proved it straight away.
It's what we do against Millwall that counts, though. Now,
100%.
take that momentum forward.
Yeah, and I will be there. I'll be at Millwall away next Saturday. But people, thank you very much for coming on. Marcus, I know I'll be bantering you for the next 4 days.
Can you get Leicester tickets? Quite enjoyed it.
You add him on Facebook just so or send him messages, even if he doesn't accept me, just so I can look it in.
Come
and watch Derby.
Marcus not ready for Derby. No, you're not ready for Marcus. You're not ready for Derby, are you, Marcus?
I'm ready. They play in white, and you've got a good record against teams playing in white, so I fancy Forest.
Marcus, we've not lost a Derby for. When's the last time we lost a Derby? In 2018?
17.
2017.
It's been a while.
That's all it is, Marcus. Marcus, we don't lose to rival clubs like Arsenal lose to Spurs. So it is what it is, man. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for everyone. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Lee, as well. Thank you, Marcus, for being so brave for coming on this channel.
He's realistic. That's it. He's realistic.
At least he's honest. At least he's honest and he takes it on the chin. You know what I mean?
But like I said, the vlog will be out late tomorrow, 9 o'clock. So because I'm at work, so the vlog will be out at 9 o'clock. People, it's been a fantastic Forest one. Like I said, we've got Leicester City next in FA Cup. Marcus, I will get you tickets if you want to. Make sure I'll get you a Forest top next with who can I put? I'll put Ryan Yates in the back if you want that. But yeah, people, it's been a pleasure. Like I said, people, if you are new to my channel, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and like I said, bring on Leicester City, unlook at Arsenal, and like I said, people, I'll see you. The vlog will be at 9 o'clock, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace and
Where's
love.
Robbie? Where's Robbie? Come on, Robbie. Where's Robbie? Robbie, where's Robbie?
All right, peace and love, people, and up the Reds.
You ready?
You Reds.